You know, it was the psalmist that said in Psalm 16 that the lines have fallen unto me in pleasant places. I have a goodly heritage. Who I am today is the result of the women and men that have invested in my life, people whose shoulders I stand on and whose shadow I walk. But among all the influences in my life, probably some of the greatest has to begin with my family. My wife is a fourth generation Church of God member. Her grandfather, W.R. Collins, and his wife, Pearlie Rowena, was something of legends in the Church of God in Texas and in Nebraska and in South Carolina. He was a pioneer preacher and a colorful personality. With his own hands and heart, he, along with his wife, built physically churches, mixing the mortar and laying the brick of scores of churches. And as a result, many people came to find Christ through his ministry. He had a very direct style. He would point people out and tell them to come to Christ, and come to Christ they would. Another minister that really had a huge influence on me was Brother Woodrow Alley. He's a retired minister. He and his wife live in Indiana. I had never met a man quite like Woodrow Alley. His testimony was unbelievable. How the Lord saved him on the streets of Chicago. Addicted to alcohol, his life was about over, but he wandered into a mission. God gloriously saved him. And in his church was this old red mourner's bench, the place where he knelt and accepted Jesus. He preserved it as a trophy and set it in his church to never allow him to forget where Jesus Christ brought him from. He has had such an influence upon me. I think he is an amazing example of a Christian and what God can do in a life. But by far the greatest influence in my life probably has been my dad. My dad and mom now live here in Cleveland. Dad was saved in West Virginia on his first date with my mom, who refused to go anywhere with him except to church. He and Mom eventually married after a stint in the Air Force, and he became a preacher in the Church of God. My dad and my mom have invested in me, and I'm so grateful for the influence that they have in my life. Some of the great treasures I have now are on my phone. When Dad will send me texts and say, "Mom and I just got up from praying for you and believe the Lord's going to use you where you are." I just received a text yesterday telling me, "Mark, don't ever forget, you're not alone. We are laborers together with God." The legacy of Church of God ministry. We have such a great treasure of women and men who have sacrificed so much and have given so much for the cause of Jesus Christ. And so, I want to speak with you about an opportunity that you and I have to honor those people that are precious in our life. Women and men who have spoken to us the gospel, who are now retired. The Church of God has designated a day, Reformation Sunday, which is the last Sunday in October, to receive an offering so that the international offices can give a gift at Christmas to every retired minister and widow. So I invite you to join me in a gift. There are several ways that you can give. You can give in your local church as your pastor receives a special offering on Reformation Sunday. You can give by sending a check to your state office, and your state and regional offices will send that offering to be part of this great gift. Or you can give directly by sending your gift to the Church of God International offices, P.O. Box 2430, Cleveland, Tennessee, 37320-2430, and designate your gift as a Reformation Sunday offering. I am praying that this year will be the greatest offering we have ever received to be able to honor our retired women and men who have blazed a trail of the gospel. After all, in the words of Winston Churchill when he was paying tribute to the Royal Air Force and the Battle of Britain in World War II, in those words, I can say, never have so many owed so much to so few.